I'm Stephanie Matteis at the Emerge Conference 2017, hashtag EmergeTO. I'm with Jay Rosen. Very thrilled to be here with you to talk about your subject, which I don't want to get the title wrong, trust production in news after the election of Donald Trump. And it's one that I think a lot of us are interested in, even as, do you find that your Canadian audiences are?
It's amazing how much Canadians know about American politics and how much they care. I don't understand it, but they do.
Philosophically, I think it's one that really resonates with us, and I don't want to give it all away, but give me some of the highlights or some of the conclusions that you've come to.
Well, the President of the United States is in a great deal of trouble because not only does it have in power a figure in the White House who projects hatred at the press and who cannot be pressured to tell the truth about almost anything. But among the population as a whole, there's a lot of mistrust of journalists, and there's a section of the public, the electorate, maybe 25 to 40%. It's not just mistrustful of the mainstream media, but in a sense isn't there on the other end, that they're not listening, they're not customers. And those are the supporters, the core supporters of Donald Trump. And so you have a president whipping up hatred against the press, you have widespread mistrust, and it's hard to know what mainstream journalists can do about that if there's a portion of the public that's not even listening. So if you change what you did, they wouldn't even know because they're not there. Those are difficult, challenging conditions.
Not just that, I just moderated a panel about fake news.
Yeah.
And about the idea of voter engagement and also just trust. And so the percentage of trust in our mainstream media in Canada is actually higher than it is in yours. In our case,
I would think so,
it's 65%. We have a study that was done recently, and so we'll go with that number.
Okay.
But even still, this idea of who do we listen to and why, in an era when it makes that much of a difference, is that having an impact at all?
Well, I didn't hear the conversation about fake news that you had, but I bet that most of it, or maybe even all of it, was about the supply of fake news, the people creating it, not the demand. So this is something that we don't understand very well. Where is the demand for this coming from? And how do we even understand that? It's as if people want certain things to be true, and they will accept news about them even if they're not. Like, they want Barack Obama not to be born in the United States, and they're going to get it, and that's very hard to understand. It's much easier to think about how do we find who's making this stuff, and how do we make it less profitable for them to distribute it, and how do we label fake news fake, and all that's supply side treatment. We don't understand the demand side. And for that matter, we don't understand why declining trust in institutions of all kinds, not just the news media, is actually a worldwide, or at least Western-wide problem in Europe and North America. Why? I don't think we know.
We have the concept that is going to dismantle trust in community effectively at the end